Hello everyone, this is Lucy here with IGN, and I'm here with Matt Armstrong, franchise director of Borderlands, and Jono Pelling, who is the creative director of the game that we are currently playing, which is Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Now guys, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Now, talk me through what we're playing right now.
All right. Well, we're in the town of Concordia, and it's an X-based sport. It's the town hub of Borderlands pre-sequel. This is kind of the central atrium area. Now we're on the moon. There is a moon that orbits Pandora called Elpis. In Pandora being obviously the place that Borderlands 1 and 2 takes place. And we're not actually ever going back to Pandora in this game. We've launched into space, and we're going to stay there for now. And we're a little bit into the game now. I think we're about level 15. We've done sort of the opening story missions, and we're going to show you some side missions today. Awesome.
Now I got you, Matt, to play as the character that I wanted to see, which is Athena. Tell me a little bit about her and what her skill set is.
Athena is the gladiator. She has a shield called, let's get her skills. She has a shield here called the Kinetic Aspect that absorbs incoming damage. And when she uses her action skill, when she uses it up, she throws it and does double damage back. Right now, I have some pretty good gear. There's 3 different skill trees. The middle one is Xiphos, and that's about melee combat and some interesting melee-based combos. The left one is Phalanx. This is all about taking advantage of your shield, using your shield effectively, absorbing a lot of damage with it, making the shield more powerful. This is a really good co-op skill tree. But I don't want to play like a good co-op player because we're playing with Chris today. And over here on the right side is the Psionic Storm, which is a little more complex. When you play down the Phalanx tree, you're very close combat all the time, staying right in people's face. Psionic Storm is a more standoffish sort of keep back and a little more technically difficult skill tree. Because I've played this before, I thought we might play with the slightly more complex and technically difficult one.
I love it. Let's do it.
She has Storm Weaving, which gives you bonuses whenever you swap weapons. Sort of the more quickly and frequently you swap weapons, the more effective it's going to be. Then Maelstrom. This is sort of the heart where you gain stacks of Maelstrom, and you can use that in some interesting ways. Increase magazine side and reload speed. Over here, when you have at least one stat effect active, you regenerate some of your shields. This is a very fire and lightning skill tree. Now, at the heart of it is Smite. Smite is about when you're airborne and you've built enough stacks, you shoot someone and it causes a bolt of lightning to come do massive damage to them. That's really nice. When you throw those aspects, the devastating fire and lightning storm will spawn. That sounds good too. I'm out of skill points. So I'm really well equipped to stay in the air and attack with lightning and fire weapons. And around here somewhere, we have Chris, who's playing as Claptrap.
Yeah, so...
I'm going down my co-op skill tree. You're going down your co-op skill tree. Okay, Claptrap's middle skill tree is about co-op support.
Right.
So he is a good co-op player, while I am not.
Now, I've been doing a little bit of reading on Claptrap and his very unique abilities. And I'm curious, I mean, what in a nutshell, in an elevator pitch, why would you play as Claptrap?
Fire off an action skill real quick on Claptrap. So now he see the code going. He's analyzing the situation. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah. No, I'm leaving. Ow, that hurt. He knocked himself into a down state.
Right.
Okay, that was funny. Are you dying? That looks sad. He analyzes the situation and tries to do the thing that's most logical and correct for the situation. Sometimes he doesn't do the right thing. In that instance, he summoned a bomb, which then blew himself up.
Okay. So he's a little unpredictable.
He's very
but
unpredictable,
very lovable.
But if you react quickly and correctly to the situation, he can be very, very effective. We sort of want to do a side mission today. Over here was something called the Grinder. And the Grinder is not working right now. But, hey, if we switch missions, spoilers to people sneak through. Do we have the Grinder mission?
We have to go and pick it up from Springs.
We go ask Springs about the Grinder. She'll give us the Grinder mission. That'd be nice.
Was that an Aussie accent I heard?
Yes, this game takes place in on Elpis. Elpis is fundamentally Australia on the moon.
See, I love this, and I just want to give everyone a little bit of a background on the collaboration that you guys did together. I mean, obviously, this is 2K Australia, based in Canberra, and there's a lot of Australian flavour in this game, right?
Yes, there is a lot. As Matt said, the moon, as we call it up over, is basically a little slice of Australia in the sky. It's a little bit funny how that kind of eventuated when we first started working on this game. We didn't really think to bring in a lot of Australian flavour, but as we started to get the scripts written and we were starting to record scratch VO, so that's just like guys on the team just recording crappy VO that they can just put in the game and start to see how the scripts are sounding, so sort of see how the quests are shaping up and whether we need to massage the scripts before we take it to the pro voice actors. Of course, all that scratch was done by us Australians in Canberra. And that was hilarious.
Yeah.
having that in the game and everyone in a Borderlands world speaking like Australians was just something that Gearbox apparently really responded to, and we just had to keep it.
I do love that. I mean, because I think that, we have a certain sense of humour here in Australia that is very different. It's very unique. And I'm very excited to see how that's going to translate into this game.
Yeah, it's I mean, we've done more than just have some silly accents in the game. We've written side missions. We've got characters in there, all from a sort of an Australian, comically Australian, sort of lampooning ourselves in a way, perspective. And so, some of the location names that you'll probably see coming up on the screen as we move around, are sort of inspired by real Australian locations. Some of the characters are real caricatures of Australian people. So,
can I buy that?
There's a shock grenade.
Yes. Playing as Athena with this skill tree, I'm desperate for shock and fire damage, and a homing sticky shock grenade sounds just beautiful.
Does sound good.
Our current mission, by the way, I should mention this before you guys get back to talking about more fun things, is we're looking for parts to the grinder machine. The grinder lets us take guns, put them all together, and smash them together, and build better quality guns. So it's kind of a cool way to take gear that you have that you don't want to sell and upgrade it. We're going to go to get some of the bits. We need to get some vehicles.
So how does Springs? So we just saw a new character, right? Springs. How does she fit into this world? What is her purpose?
So Springs is she's like a junk dealer who lives on the moon, scrounges around the lunar surface in the ruins of the old Dahl facilities, looking for stuff to sell and repurpose and mash together and stuff. And so she's actually the first person that you meet when you arrive on the moon. She starts, she helps you out, get a start, helps you survive, teaches you the basics of what the moon environment means for you. And from then on, she kind of supports you and gives you side missions.
Now, is she the character that you're running? She's got that crush on Athena, right?
Yes, she does.
Yeah. I like that little sort. I like that touch. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, she's pretty happily and overtly fond of Athena, and Athena's not really sure how to take that. Vehicle driving off. We're going to go shoot it. Oh, it's gone. Monsters. Oh, there's the grinder buggy. That's what we're supposed to actually be shooting at.
There we go.
Okay. Where to go? There's a lot of debris here. There it is. Got him.
Now, Matt, you were telling me earlier that, you know, with this game, you've refined it to a point that if you go back and play Borderlands 2, it doesn't feel as smooth and as...
Well, the big thing that we run into is your ability to move. Like, I have a vehicle, but if I need to go do this without the vehicle, I jump, I double jump, I fly through the air like I'm a fighter pilot. I can do some interesting reverses, bounce around. When I get over an enemy that's really tough, boom. I can slam, but basically I can compete with the vehicles on foot because sort of in the nature of this game to... Uh-oh. I think that's a TDR gun. It's sort of in the nature of the game to allow me to maneuver quickly and easily because of my ability to sort of jump and change direction. I can alter direction, I have a lot of air control, and come down slamming hard. The other cool thing is when you play a game that has low gravity, and even the vehicle can slam, which is nice. When you play a game that has low gravity, in the past there's always been this problem, which is now I'm up and I have to wait until I hit the ground. This great long... I wonder if I can make the jump on foot. Well, there's only two ways to find out.
Oh.
Nice. When I jump up really high... Oh, I'm out of oxygen. Whose fault is that? But when I jump up really high, you kind of have to wait as you slowly float to the bottom.
Right.
And in this game, you don't have to wait. If you jump up high and you want to get down, you hit the crouch button and you come down really quick. So the big drawback that you often run into, that was Smite, the lightning bolt that came from above. But the drawback you often run into isn't really that much of a drawback. Sometimes you find yourself without a vehicle. You can actually summon a vehicle from a friend's co-op vehicle. So if you get stuck without a vehicle in co-op, you can use a vehicle as a vehicle spawn station. That has entirely come from the Australia guys who thought of that, and I wish I'd thought of it first.
Well, we added the Stingray, which is a one-man vehicle, and so it makes it that much harder if you're in a co-op group and one of you loses your Stingray. It's kind of not that exciting to go trudging back to a vehicle station just so you can get your vehicle back. So we wanted to make sure that players could always access a vehicle. If anyone has a vehicle on the team, then anyone can get one too.
It's one of those sort of simple things that looks obvious and clear when you see it, but doesn't occur to anybody. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Now, another little addition that you've added to this game is this sort of incidental dialogue. As players play, their characters actually talk. They chatter along, right? And they react to what's happening around them.
Yeah, they are actually enjoying the mission and part of the quest as well. Oh, the grenade! Get him, grenade! Oh, seriously? Let's see if I can smite that guy. Yeah, the characters are part of the story more than they ever have been before. In previous Borderlands games, the characters have been sort of along someone else's story.
Yep.
But when Handsome Jack is going through the path, we haven't even talked about the story of the game yet, but when Handsome Jack is going down the path of becoming darker and more wicked, each one of these characters has a different sort of attitude and view to that, and they react to it differently as well. And we sort of really wanted to embrace that and show that off.
I'm really interested about the story because obviously you've got you guys down there in Cambridge, but we've also got Anthony Birch up in Gearbox HQ. How did you guys sort of work together and was Anthony the lead or were you guys lead? How did it work?
Well, I mean it's been a really tight collaboration, I guess is the way you put it. Obviously Anthony and everyone else up in Gearbox has been working with Borderlands for a long time, so they know how to make something Borderlands.
Yep.
So we've got Anthony and the other writers there. We've got writers back in Australia, Maurice Suckling and Marek Walton did a lot of great work. And but it's making sure that everything that we're doing in Australia, not just with the writing, but across the board, is legitimately Borderlands. We couldn't have done that without Gearbox.
Yeah, Claptrap. When Claptrap's action skill triggers, it affects everybody a lot of them affect everybody on the team in some way, and if you take advantage of it, you can be really powerful.
Now, his meat unicycle gives him a massive axe.
Everybody gets melee damage bonuses
Right.
when that happens. So when you see the meat unicycle,
which is just such a brilliant thing that you guys have created. I just love meat unicycle. It should be a band name.
yeah,
Sounds
well,
like fun.
it is sort of inspired by Krieg's meat bicycle.
Yeah, a lot of what Claptrap can do is, shorthand for what other Vault Hunters have done previously in the
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah,
There's
he's trying really hard to be a Vault Hunter.
That's right. Yeah.
He's giving it his best shot.
He's giving it his best Claptrap shot, which is about as good as Claptrap can be. Sometimes it works. With Athena, though, what you want to do is swap weapons between energy and other weapons, and then once you've swapped and generated a few levels of charge, you jump in the air and nail somebody with your weapon and get the smite, which is the bolt from above. Where is he? There we go. All right, I got that. Oh, I was going to get that. When you have one of these things, one of the great things about energy weapons is the oxygen generating dome can actually be triggered by any energy weapon, which reminds me of having shock grenades and they're homing, so I'll just throw a few randomly into the air and see if that doesn't solve some problems.
So tell me what else is new. You've got new weapons as well. Obviously you've got new weapons. That's an understatement, right?
Yeah, we have lots and lots and lots of guns.
But you've got your new ice weapons and your new laser weapons.
Yes.
Yep. Well, the laser weapons.
Find an ice weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, that is an ice weapon. Let's use this.
You're doing too much damage.
I know, I'm just far too aggressive.
Yeah. So the cryo weapons freeze guys solid.
Yep.
And there you go. You can smash them. So while they're frozen solid, they'll take extra damage from criticals, from melee strikes, and from explosive. So it's a little bit reminiscent of Slag in Borderlands 2, but it's I don't know. I find it a bit more satisfying than Slag personally. Plus, you just get to see guys shatter into a billion pieces.
Yeah. Which is always satisfying.
It is. It never gets old. Bam.
Oh, I got Funzerker. I lose the ability.
Funzerker.
You lose the ability to stop firing your guns, and there's nobody to shoot. Oh, there's somebody.
I think one of the coolest things about Borderlands, and I'm sure you guys agree, is the reason one of the reasons it persists is because of this crazy language that you guys have created for this world.
Yeah, well, that comes from a lot of different sources. Actually, it's not just the writers or me. It's actually a lot of it comes from the level designers, the animators, the artists. Lots of people sort of once they understand the rules, they contribute.
Which is really interesting because I think it's a really cohesive language. I mean, it's a really the sense of humor is really tight.
It tends to be. There's a certain amount of cat herding going on.
Right.
That's sort of what my job is, actually. And more
Professional cat herder.
Professional cat herding,
Right.
but it's cat herding correctly. A lot of people say herding cats because it's okay. There's a lot of chaos and I'm dealing with it. But the truth is, the reason that I think that it even suits this job better is because cats are really cool and they're fun, and you want all those cats running around doing cool, fun things. You have to let the cat be the cat. If you actually went out and herded a bunch of angry wildebeest, it would be a lot less fun than herding cats. Let the cats do their cool, crazy, wild things. Just don't let them get too wild and too crazy. Make sure they're all basically going in the same direction. That's franchise director job. Slam.
It's I guess it's like as you know, 2K Australia having come in and whoa, look at that guy! I can see my house from here.
Yeah, because you guys came in sort of had to adapt.
Well, we had to learn the ropes.
Learn the ropes. Absolutely.
We had to discover what was Borderlands and what wasn't Borderlands, and
how difficult was that? I mean, you
took
guys
some time.
mentioned earlier that you had classes. You had Borderlands classes.
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the first things that that happened when we we decided we wanted to do this together was guys from Gearbox came out to Canberra and taught us how to make stuff in their engine, and taught us all the technical details and the do's and don'ts of
That was smart.
creating content, and that gave us a massive leg up. But then there's also sort of the nuances, the the making stuff funny in the right way, the making the characters say the right things, and be right for the universe, and that took that was more of a sort of an ongoing conversation that evolved over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we keep getting distracted by the game. It's actually just fun to play and sort of fun to watch too, which is one of the goals. So I'm happy about that. Anyway, on the quest for the grinder, I think we need to get on the roof of this building. If I can do that, get back on track. There we go. And here's a grinder. Smash.
That accent.
It's authentic. Fortunately, that guy was carrying TNT.
What region of Australia is Springs from, Jono?
Oh, don't ask me that.
She's from Elpis. It isn't 100% true to Australia because it's science fiction. Oh, Luke. Nobody ever opens his chest. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think it was good science fiction if she spoke exactly perfectly like you do.
Damn straight. So it was. I heard that it was Randy Pitchford's idea to make
It was his
playable.
Well, there's
Claptrap.
a lot of people have wanted to do playable Claptrap. I don't know that I would call it anybody's idea.
Right.
But it was his request. He said he wanted to play as Claptrap. And we...
And were you guys just like, oh...
Well, Claptrap is kind of our mascot, but he's
Yeah.
a loser, and he has to stay a loser. He has to be lovable, but he has to be a loser. And our Vault Hunters are... Okay, that might be good. But our Vault Hunters are all, like, winners. They're awesome. They're badasses. So how do we, deal with this loser standing right next to all of our winners? And competing and being worthwhile. So we made a deal with him. It was real simple. If we can solve that problem, where he stays a loser and he still has the humor and the frustration, but also is a worthwhile member of the team that you want to play with, then we do it. Randy, thanks very much, has confidence in us and said, yeah, that's a great bet, because he just figured we'd solve that problem. And tragically, we did. We went to Australia and had the meeting where we worked out all the characters. We put them all up on a whiteboard in a room where everybody was able to sort of add their views and opinions. It was wholly collaborative. I can't even tell you who specifically came up with any one of the character skills.
Yeah.
But we came to this and started thinking, no, this feels right. This can be really silly and annoying and loserish, but also, it's about how well you react. And if you react well, he can be the best, most badass of all the Vault Hunters.
Yeah.
And then occasionally he'll blow himself up or accidentally throw a lot of grenades and blow you up and have all that fun failure that you kind of want from Claptrap. I want that one, and I want khaki. We also have 4 vehicles now for 4-player co-op with a single rider vehicle. And this vehicle is a lot of fun. When we burst, instead of bursting us forward, it bursts us up in the air, so we can jump up high. And then we can use the other button to do slams. So we can butt slam even
It's a
when
butt
we're
slam
car.
in a vehicle. Okay.
Yes.
That's cool.
Because this is Borderlands, and fun wins. Homing cryo rockets are particularly effective against everything in the world. They're not as powerful as the flak cannon, but they home and they freeze, so they're really good.
Now, obviously, we're playing as Athena and Claptrap, but I'm also intrigued as to our other 2 Vault Hunters, because we've got, of course, Wilhelm, who's he's a baddie. He's a bad dude.
He's here for the money.
Right.
But he ends up sticking around to Borderlands 2, and that works out really well for him. Nothing bad happens to him in Borderlands 2. And then we also have Nisha, who makes all the other bad guys look really, really sweet.
Right.
You know, it's like you can complain all you want about how bad somebody is, and then Adolf Hitler walks in the room. And goes, oh no, you weren't so bad. I thought my boss was bad. She's wicked, nasty,
She's
evil.
wicked, right?
And it's a lot of fun to play as a character who's just that wicked. You know, everyone likes the bad girl, and she's a cowgirl too, and that's great. And she also has slowly fallen for Jack over the course of the game because, you know, each one of the characters has their own sort of progress and narrative.
And I suppose relationship with Jack as well.
She's working her way up to that.
Right.
Athena's slowly falling out of agreement with him, and she's sort of finding a point where they get along really well. And the other characters sort of have their own paths. Like Claptrap is sort of stuck in this, though. He can't disagree with Jack ever. All right, we got all the parts for springs. Let's check out the cool grinders. I will follow you. Sure, Kragon tattoos. She has a serious anti-Kragon view of life.
See old Bessie over there? Slot the unassembler linkage and the recombiner matrix into her. Let's see if that does the trick.
That means hit the use button.
Yes. Looks like she's back from the dead, but we need to make sure. These babies can, if you're lucky, spit out nice shiny equipment. But you have to know what to put in them first. Kind of like a recipe. Put in any 3 weapons at the same quality and you might get back a weapon of a higher quality. Sweet, eh? I've got some old ones on the table over there. Use them.
Yeah. Free guns to grind. I should just equip these guns and finish the game with them. We should have made a secret achievement for that. Okay. Should give us 3 low-quality guns. 1. 2. I picked up a customization, too. What's that? Stingray skin. Okay, ready? If I grind, I can just hit the Y and grind it normally. But if I'm willing to spend some of my rare commodity moonstones, I have a better chance of getting something good. I think I have enough moonstones, so I'm going to do that.
Look at her grind. Sweet as.
Ta-da!
Come with a lot of recipes.
Put on white guns, get a green gun.
All right.
And you can upgrade up the chain. There's several other formulas to be discovered and recipes.
Get the best possible items out of
That's
And
a
then
grinder.
there's also, if you use your moonstone to grind, there's a chance that the weapon will have a special property.
Yeah.
Like it's called a loon shine, and it basically gives the weapon some other kind of stat or property that might not actually change the way the weapon itself works, but might change the way you some kind of property about you.
Okay, cool. So tell me about like the addition. Obviously grinders are new. So where did the seed of them come from? Like
Of the grinder?
Yeah, where did that come from?
Well, I was actually inspired by there's
there we
there's a
go.
loon shine weapon.
Right.
Oh, yes, I'll take that.
So damaging enemies restores an oxygen.
That's
Pretty cool.
Oh, it's ice, though. I'll give it to Claptrap. Here, Claptrap.
So
Just heard him say yay.
in Borderlands 2, you visit this place called Overlook.
Yeah.
And one of the little story points in Overlook is that they've got this big machine called the Grinder, where as part of the quest, you drop some items in there and destroy them. So that inspired, we were sort of tinkering with the idea of, can we do something that doesn't really destroy the loot mechanics, but also allows players to have a little bit of interactivity with, generating items or, coming up with their own, items that they've built or something like that. And we're thinking about things like the Heraldric Cube and, transmogrifying, and together with the idea of the grinder from Overlook, we just thought that really fit nicely, and so we came up with the grinder that you see in the game at the moment, where you can just input different combinations of weapons. Gives you another avenue for disposing of weapons. You don't have to just sell them or drop them anymore. You can actually find use in weapons that you don't like or want to use.
So basically, weapon customization now, and weaponry has evolved
No.
quite significantly.
Well, we're not allowing players to deliberately customize aspects of the weapon. It's still going to be random, but
there'll be a little bit of creativity involved. Agency for the player to create the sort of weapon that they want.
Yeah, and it's up to them to sort of dig around and find what kind of recipes can produce the weapons that they want.
We have a couple of the missions we could try. We have Torgo, which is a Torg-related mission. There's a mission over there. Let's see if I can get across this without dying. Oh. We have Nurse Nina.
Another new character, right? So she's apparently. I was watching the little sort of 12-minute trailer recently, and
she's your medical
she's
professional.
She's a hard ass, right?
Yes.
This character.
Yeah, she thinks it's funny when things get hurt, but she takes care of them in the end.
Yes.
Which is fine. That's where a lot of us are. Don't you think it's a little funny? Just a little bit. So we could go on one of the Torg missions, or we could go on that mission. Do we have any missions queued up besides the mainline quest? We could head towards the mainline quest if you wanted. Wherever you would like. You want to hear some Torg? We can do some Torg.
I think I want to hear some Torg.
Yeah, I thought you might want to hear some Torg. The great thing is, Springs is just a sweetheart.
Yeah.
And she won't be angry or resentful if we go do what Torg wants. Mind you, if we do what she wants, we'll get a laser gun. But it's hard to say no to Torg. Let's see. Skin type. I got new skins. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. When there's 4 different vehicles, suddenly you start caring a little bit more about skins. Feels like, no, that's my car. This is an area with some Kragons. Any Kragons? Hey, guys. How's it going? When the big ones are destroyed, they will, boom. When the Kragon is destroyed, it will often split into smaller Kragons, which is science. Science happens all the time. Sometimes it involves monsters turning into smaller versions of themselves. Like that old worm myth. There they go. But that's not where our mission is. Our mission is across the bridge, so I'm going to go across the bridge.
Started mining the planet, and one of them nearly killed me a couple of months ago. He gave me a sexy scar on my stomach. Extremely sexy. Athena, what?
Oh, Claptrap ran away.
No,
Yeah, so that's Springs and Athena getting into the confusing flirting for Athena.
It's pretty straightforward flirting, wasn't it? I thought it was quite overt.
She might be Australian.
Hey, so like in terms of sort of enemy design, this is a pre-sequel. As you say, it's in between 2 games.
Yeah.
But do you have any, sort of alpha versions of enemies that we would have seen in Borderlands 2?
Well, there might be some history, some of the enemies that involves the moon. We're trying to get the Kragon to smash through this wall for us, and then Claptrap screws up by freezing it. Thanks, Claptrap.
With the weapon you gave him, I might add.
Yeah. All right, we gotta smash this wall down. Okay, good. Oh, yoink the light reactor. You go kill the monsters you pissed off. There it is.
Bonza.
That's what Australians say.
Yeah.
Now get inside and yoink the light reactor. Now bring it back to me and I'll trade you a laser gun.
All right, so now you got to choose. Are we going to go give it to her and get the laser, or you want to destroy it for Torg?
That's tough. But I gotta say, I want to see some.
Whoa. That was me being stupid. that's what
That wasn't what I was going to choose, but
that's. I just do that as a bonus for you.
No extra charge.
Yep. You want us to do?
Let's see some destruction.
Okay, destroy record. Let's deploy my vehicle. Fortunately, it remembers my pretty skin. All right, we gotta head over to the lava. This is a fun vehicle to drive. Slam. It's extremely flexible and versatile, as long as you don't accidentally slide into some lava.
Which is, tends to be the general rule.
That wasn't me, by the way. That was somebody else. I've played this game before, and I would not make such a mistake, especially in a public forum. This is a crazy gun. This is a crazy gun. I don't know what this gun's doing. I seem to have a crazy gun. Yeah, I have to figure out how guns work. In Borderlands 1 and 2, I made all the guns. Now Australia made all the guns, so I get surprised by guns for the first time ever.
They have secrets.
It's so good. Like, oh, this is what I've been doing to people. I've been a terrible, terrible person.
Australia made all the guns. I love that.
Yeah, I wanted them to. That was one of my real goals, was to let somebody else do the guns so I could sort of enjoy them the way other people have.
So you have found surprises?
Yeah, to the point that they say, hey, could you help me with this? I'm like, no. No, I'm kidding. Generally speaking, they've understood it pretty well. I'm going to destroy the light reactor, and I'm really enjoying finding new guns. Here we go. Ready?
Wait for it.
Oh, poor thing. Poor Strings.
Oh, she's happy. She gets along with people. I'm going to get some oxygen before I go deal with this. Watch my health here. Oh, I get it back. Oxygen is a mechanic for fun. We don't want it to torture you. So even if you lose a lot of health, when you find some oxygen, you'll get it back.
Right.
It's extremely unlikely, it's extremely unlikely to die from lack of oxygen in this game. Subtle historical reference. Oh, that gun. There we go. That was an exciting mission from Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to have to wrap it up there. Is there anything else that you want to tell the IGN viewers before we leave?
Well, the release
seeing as we've got both of you together, I want to hear something from both of you.
I will say that it's been fantastic fun to work with the Australian guys.
Yeah.
And this might be the most Australian game in the history of Australia.
It might be.
It might be. It's really nice. It's really fun. I really love the fact that it really, from my perspective, feels like a visit to Australia. We wanted Elpis to feel like you're on a visit, and it's fantastic. There's actual characters from Borderlands on vacation on the moon that you get to run into some old friends, and that's really neat.
And I guess for us, it's it's been so cool to jump in and work with such a fun franchise. Like, it's a lot of hard work, but it's incredibly fun. It's like just being able to work with these characters and work in this world.
I'm sure this shield will save me.
It's not going to save. Look, you just threw it ahead of you. It's just been a fantastic amount of fun for us to work on this game, and I think that comes through. And it's it's also been really rewarding to be able to put our stamp on things. So how Australian the game feels is something that we're really proud of. So I hope that all the Australians out there enjoy it thoroughly and don't wince too much at the atrocious, albeit genuinely Australian accents in the game.
Bonza.
Too right.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. For more on Borderlands, the pre-sequel, stick with IGN.